Just got back from seeing, just got home from seeing the new Fighting with My Family movie based on the story of Paige and her family. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I know Paige and I saw her original debut, all that good stuff. So, I really thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It was very good. When I first kind of heard about it, I was like, but it's very good story. It's written and directed by Stephen Merchant, who is I think he was the co-creator of The Office, the UK Office. He was like a producer, I think, on the US version. And he is British, European, whatever you want to call it. So I would say he was, I don't know how well he knows wrestling, but he was kind of a good person to, I don't know about maybe direct the movie. Well, it was pretty good, but directing wise, but at least write it, because everybody who's in this movie is European, British, whatever. So just the way he has them written sounds exactly how they would talk. Bollocks and all that shit. But it was a funny movie. It definitely took some creative liberties, because like they show The Rock in the movie. The Rock never even met Paige. Like there's a whole what they show in the trailer where he's like, oh, it doesn't matter what your name is and this and this and that, where he meets her and her brother. That never even happened. He didn't even know who Paige was until she had already debuted, and all that. So it's like, so there was definitely some creative liberties there. She had failed her first tryout, ended up getting it at her second one. Hutch Morgan, the guy who was played by Vince Vaughn, is not a real person. So it definitely took some creative liberties and spots. One thing I don't quite understand, and then the whole scene where they did her debut and when she won the championship. They filmed that in like 2017. So there's people in the crowd with New Day t-shirts, and Bailey t-shirts. So it's like New Day didn't even start until 2014. So there wouldn't have been people in the crowd who should have been wearing New Day shirts, but it's kind of hard to prevent taking crowd shots of people and not have people wearing shirts that were or after that had even happened, like years and years, like Bootio t-shirts. Bootio's, I don't even know, like that came out like 2016, I think, is when Bootio's was when they talked about Bootio's. Maybe I don't even know. It seems like it was like not that long ago, but it was probably like 4 years ago, Bootio's. But because they debuted in like 2014. I don't know exactly the month, but it was 2014 that the New Day debuted. And then the one thing that, and then there was a reference to the Hunger Games, which more than likely they were talking about the movie, and the movies, the first movie didn't even come out until 2012, and that was way after the movie was set. So it's like there's just time discrepancies, date discrepancies in the movie. And then they had Zelina Vega, who is a current WWE superstar, play AJ Lee. And what I do not understand is that, and it might have been something where AJ Lee evidently must be something where she owns that likeness or something, and she wouldn't allow it, because basically it was Zelina Vega wearing her normal ring gear. So it was like, why is she not wearing like the black Love Bites t-shirt, like the little not to say booty shorts, but like really short shorts, and her Chuck Taylors? She wasn't wearing any of that. So it's like that was the one thing that just was like, what the fuck? Why is she not wearing why is the person who was playing AJ Lee not wearing the actual gear that AJ Lee wore? At the very end of the movie, they do show a clip of the actual footage of the win, but you barely even get to see AJ Lee. So there's something with WWE and AJ Lee, CM Punk, that whole thing where they don't want to give her any more publicity than they need to. So that was one thing that just kind of was like, okay, I can see some of the creative liberties that they took, but that part I just didn't understand. It's like, I don't know. And the chick who plays Paige, damn, she is freaking hot. And when Paige was first starting out, she's hot now. There's times where she can look a little clownish depending on the lipstick she has on, because sometimes she just like smears it on. Oh God, they're like when she first like kind of announced this movie. There's kind of there was a video that they had, like she's like, oh, the trailer, and then she just had this goofy make, and she just looked very clownish. So it's like, it just depends. There's times where she can look really hot, and then there's times she can just look real clownish, just depending on like the makeup she has on her face. But yeah, the chick who played her in the movie, God, she's freaking hot. And then they showed old footage of Paige, which I've seen before, and she definitely didn't look that hot back in the day. She wasn't bad looking, but she just didn't look as hot as the actress who was playing her in the movie. And I don't know if she actually ever dyed her hair blonde. I guess it's possible, because I have seen footage of her with like black, with kind of some blondish streaks in her hair. So, but yeah, there was a part where she like totally like her, like where she, she always kind of looked with like the gothic type look, but there was a scene where she was tan, blonde hair to kind of match up with these other chicks who were there. And I don't know if any of the people, because they were showing NXT, the Performance Center, stuff like that, I don't know if I didn't really recognize anybody from, say, NXT or that, but they might be up and coming wrestlers that people just don't know of. It would make more sense to have people who are actually, maybe training to be wrestlers than actresses and whatnot. There was 3 girls that, she kind of was trying to be friends with, but she's like, oh, they're just tits and ass. She finally kind of gets to know them a little bit better, and that kind of changes it. There was one chick who almost kind of, the way she was dressed reminded me of Eve Torres. So that might have been one of the chicks. I don't know. They never, like, one was Ginger Lynn, Ginger Lynn or something like that. I can't remember the other chicks' names. But just pulling into my parking lot here. But I really, really enjoyed the movie, even with the kind of stretches that they took. Yeah, like the whole thing with The Rock was like when she, and I'm trying to remember if, because she debuted after WrestleMania 30, so that would have, and WrestleMania 35 is coming up here, so that wasn't even 5 years ago that she debuted, and she's basically retired. She can't wrestle anymore. So she wasn't in WWE for real long. But then at the end where she's at WrestleMania 30, The Rock tells her that she's going to debut on Raw the next night, calls her family, which none of that happened. The Rock never, so it's like, yeah, he produced this movie, but he literally didn't know Paige until way after the fact. There was like a 2012 documentary about her, and that's how he kind of got to know who she was. But he never met her. So that's one of the biggest stretches in the movie is The Rock knowing Paige, having ever met Paige or her family, never did. Maybe leading up, and maybe at least not the way they show it in the movie, at least. If he ever met her family or talked to her family or met her, it was after 2012. So that's one thing. So story is a little wonky, but in those parts, but a very good story. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So I was pondering on a 4 or a 5. It's really that good. When I saw that it was getting some, fresh, like 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, I was like, wow, I was thoroughly surprised. And then the whole Zelina Vega, AJ Lee thing, it's like most people who are going to see this movie, I don't know how many people who don't know wrestling are going to go out and see this movie. But they're going to generally know that they're going to be like, even if they watch it now, they're going to be like, well, that's that one chick who's with, I guess his name is just Andrade now, but Andrade Cien Almas, which I think is better than just Andrade, but, they're going to be like, well, that's that one chick who's with what's his face. So, and they're going to be like, well, that's not how AJ Lee was dressed or anything like that. So that's what is just the one thing. So with those creative differences with The Rock, who really shouldn't have been even part of the movie. He can be a producer. That's all I give a shit about. But it was like those parts with him just kind of was like he didn't really need to be in the movie. But he did get it made. So that's one good thing. Kind of puts Paige in a kind of her family and everything in the spotlight, at least for now. But yeah, those little creative differences and the whole AJ Lee looking like Zelina Vega looking, or trying to, basically looking like herself. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was really close to a 5. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's really close to a 5 out of 5, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5, which is probably my first time doing that. I was gonna say I just did my first 4 out of 5 recently. So it's a really good movie, a really good story about Paige and her family. Very funny moments, but just some date discrepancies. The Rock never really having ever met her like it shows in the movie. And then the whole thing that I already mentioned with Zelina Vega and her look not even looking like AJ Lee. And there's, I guess I really don't know exactly why, but I'm guessing it's something where AJ Lee would not allow them to use her likeness for whatever reason. There are some brief cameos by The Big Show, Sheamus, and then there was one trailer that I did see on I think they showed on TV that you do see The Miz as well. So those are 3 superstars. They said that some random uncredited actor played John Cena at one point, which I'm not quite sure when that happened. I think that might have been when they were showing WrestleMania. No, I think it was when they were showing Raw. Because there's one point I'm like, okay, is that... Because it was like, it looked really like John Cena, but I'm like, I'm not quite sure. So that must have been who they were talking about, because I saw something about uncredited appearance by somebody, uncredited actor playing John Cena. And then there was just archive footage otherwise. So, but yeah, definitely a very good movie. Give it, thumbs up, 4.5 out of 5. Definitely worth checking out if you're a WWE fan. If you're not, more than likely you're probably not going to check the movie out. But it's a really good movie, good family movie. Good story about Paige and her family, and there was it didn't tell their whole story. And there was even, I guess, one other point where there was maybe about 10, if that, minutes of her as a kid. I'm not sure exactly what age that was, but she had made this cardboard cutout or cardboard belt of the Divas Championship, and I'm like, I'm not even sure if the Divas Championship was around at that time. I can't remember exactly when that was created, but I don't even know if that was even a thing when they were showing her as a kid. I don't know exactly what her age was, maybe 10 or so. She was born in 92, so, well, no, she couldn't have been 10 because that would have been 2002. Yeah, so, she looked like she's probably about 10 or so. So, yeah, 2002, they definitely did not have a Divas Championship then. Divas Championship probably wasn't until 2008, 2009. So, and at that point, she would have been like 19. Or no, she would have been... Yeah, so I don't even think the Divas Championship that she had a cardboard thing of would have been really that accurate either. So there was definitely some stuff there that kind of, is against, made my score a little bit lower, but it's still a very good movie. 4.5 out of 5. Definitely worth checking out. I think I rambled on long enough here. We're going about 16 minutes in. So, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more reviews. I would appreciate it if you give this a like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good shit. Helps me out and lets me know that you want to see more of these. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more. Later.